This is part 3 to the why Trump gonna do a better job than Obama. Just to pick up where I left off at, like I was saying, basically, is that I could see certain patterns, you know, with Donald Trump that give me a good feeling that he gonna do a right job. And the reason why I say that because everything the media been feeding us been wrong. Everything they've been saying about this dude been totally opposite. And the last thing they left us with is that he's some type of monster that's going to start some type of anarchy or some type of, raid on the people or the population of America. Whatever crazy idea these people got in their head. But when you look at what Obama did in the past, again, just to name a few things, was just something funny about this dude that I kept looking at him, studying him, and just trying to see where he was coming from. And he really wasn't coming from nowhere because we still ain't nowhere, far as we even grow. We no further than what we was 20 years ago, let alone 8 years, the 8 years he was in office, but he did nothing for us. So that was very disappointing. And then looking at, just doing my homework and studying, the elder Dick Gregory was talking about executive order that Obama had put in place, I think in the year 2012. And I went and just did my homework. I never take what people tell me on face value. I went and did my homework real quick. And I think the executive order is called 1313603. And it's like basically talking about how the U.S. government had the right to take our properties and force us into labor, some type of slavery bill. And then I began to look at another bill he signed, which was the, like I mentioned in the previous videos, the LGT, whatever that is, the gay bill. Then I looked at the abortion bill. And then I look at them let all these drug dealers out of jail, which is cool because a lot of them was put in their place in the Clinton regime. Clinton did that Rockefeller drug law, and it was harsh, it was draconian. A lot of us got locked up for less than nothing. But when you look at the bills that Obama signed and things like that, and how he gave Iran all his money, like I mentioned before, and he didn't help his own people, you have to question what was his agenda for real. Because something just ain't right, So, with that being said, I'm just thinking about, how we've been taught or we've been fed that Trump is not going to do this, that, and the third. And everything that he's been talking about is things that not the American people want. Now, it's this thing with black people, I'm really trying to understand this, that, we feel this way about him being in the seat because he's racist and he got a nasty mouth and he don't do women right. I understand that, I get that, right? But all these things is based on his past. And anything that he's done in the future don't seem to hold much weight like versus what Hillary has done. And just to keep it on Trump for a second, we was judging him based on things he said 16 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, come on, people grow, and not to say, maybe he grew, maybe he didn't, maybe he's still an asshole, whatever. That's not my point, that's not the point. The point is, can he get the job done? America is a corporation, people don't get that, they just don't really understand that. Executive order, CEO, So, he's the chief executive officer. So he got the right to put in a place executive order. That sounds like business to me. And people don't get this. A lot of people is based on big, especially blacks, we emotional, so we feel in a way. But why we feel in a way? What he gonna take from us? What do we got that he's gonna take from us that's gonna make us feel away? Welfare, which he said he's not gonna touch, and welfare. If he give me a job that pays 5 times more than what welfare give you for sitting home, then come on. So I don't even see where's the problem at with that. But I'm getting this feeling that a lot of these white people are putting in black people's head to be emotional and feel a way about Donald Trump. And I believe a lot of these big businesses and companies are behind it. These shadow groups, these shadow governments that's putting money into these groups of people that's going out and causing chaos. Why? It could be several things, and I think one of the things is a lot of these owners of these big businesses are really upset that Donald Trump is about to remove the immigrants that they underpay. And not only, for example, if you got to pay a person by law $30 an hour, and you come as an immigrant and you got to give from $12, even $9, say, and you pocket the rest, then you hire 1,000 immigrants. How much money does that company pocket? The owner of that company, the CEO of that company, how much do they pocket? So I believe a lot of the CEOs across America who hire these immigrants and use them as labor are really furious with Donald Trump. And they're using the media, and they are related to the bankers, and they're trying to use some black people to get hype to go along with them to make it seem like the whole United States is outraged. But a lot of people voted for him. And you smart, you can see this. You can see that they're doing something. So when then we come to find out, for example, George Soros funded Black Lives Matter. If this is true, we got to be the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet Earth to continue to march in the name of Black Lives Matter when we know that there's a racist person putting money into this group, and he is fueling or giving gas to an engine or to a vehicle that's driving people fucking crazy. That got people out here breaking windows and doing all type of nonsense. And I urge black people to not get involved in that because it's a setup. We can't win. We don't have no weapons. That'll destroy you, kill you, separate you from your family. It's just nonsense. And then if this is true, George Soros is behind Black Lives Matter, then what's going on? It shouldn't be Black Lives Matter. If you want to let white people join a black organization, then don't call it Black Lives Matter. That's suspicious right there alone. Call it All Lives Matter, and then we can get a better feeling of what y'all trying to do. But to call it Black Lives Matter and then march along white people who are more hyper than you, and then you turn around, they know that you are on your emotion, they play on your psyche, and know that we are emotional people and get us all hyped and riled up, then it only makes their message what they trying to push stronger. Meanwhile, we ain't getting nothing out the deal. So I really feel like there's an agenda being pushed to get our people hyped up over something we really don't have no worries about. You can't take nothing from a people who don't really have much. We don't really have much. Sorry to say. So what much more can he take from us? Only thing we can do is gain from the situation. So, like I said, with all the bills, and people always got something to say and think they know what they're talking about, okay, cool. Challenge me, I challenge you. But before you come, make sure you go look at all the executive orders memorandums that Barack Obama signed. Understand that. And then you can understand where he was coming from. So with that being said, Japan, according to the news, international news, about to invest $50 billion into this country, 50,000 jobs. General Motors is staying. The carrier company, saved 1,000 jobs, a few, and people seem to be using that as the only thing he done. But he's turning companies around, stopping them from leaving.